Four States' most watched news starts now.
Friday morning and welcome to the KOM Morning News where it's 5 o'clock. I'm Michael Hayslip. We do have a chance not only of rain but some thunderstorm activity beginning tonight and carrying us into the weekend. So let us go straight to the old Skywatch storm tracker. Now we stay on not only the dry side but also the very clear side for this Friday morning. Not a whole lot of action going on even from the sweeping radar. You see those colors being picked up, the green and the blue, remember? That's some Friday morning reflectivity coming out of there. Still waiting on a sunrise, of course, a live look over Television City, but never too early to check on our temperatures. A whole lot more comfortable than what it was yesterday, as we're already up around 57 degrees, so about a 15 degree bump up from where we started on Thursday. Pressure holding steady right now. That's a good sign. We're going to get a whole bunch of sunshine and actually some warm temps here before the thunderstorm activity arrives. And when it does, the area that we'll pay attention to is going to be out to our west and southwest. But a look at the contiguous 48 shows there's not a whole lot of cooking out there right now. Our weather trend, not going to be too bad. As a matter of fact, average high this time of year would be 68. And we'll throw up some 77s up there, and then we can concentrate on what's to come. So by, say, 3, 4 o'clock, and we're gathering. We're not on this yet, but we're gathering. And then from about 4, say to 8. You got a good band right there. 10 o'clock, we're pushing to the east of southwest Missouri, but look at the top. We've got more thunderstorms that roll through. Takes us all the way into Saturday, much cooler temperatures as well on the backside. Now, Saturday morning and afternoon, we transition just into showers. You won't have to worry about the severe variety, but at the same point, from this evening into Saturday morning, do need to be apprised of, we know we're going to see some heavy rain, but also, too, some high winds, possibility of even some hail to ride along with that. Now, starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and above who did not already qualify for the vaccine can get their shot as the state of Missouri moves into Phase 3. Phase 3 comes just 12 days after the state moved into Phase 2. Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas expanded eligibility to 16 and up and did so last week. In Joplin, Freeman Health System accepting applications for its first Phase 3 vaccine clinic, and you've got the opportunity to take advantage of one today. It's going to run from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Do need to pre-register, and you can do that by phone or you can do it online to set up your appointment. And an upcoming vaccine clinic will administer the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine in Pittsburgh. This is one that's going to be next Tuesday, Meadowbrook Mall from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Johnson & Johnson vaccine approved for use in people ages 18 and older. Of course, for the latest news and resources related to the COVID-19 vaccine, go to our website, komnewsnow.com/vaccine. And on that same page, you're going to find a form that you can fill out to send us your questions about COVID-19 and vaccine distribution. Once again, komnewsnow.com/vaccine. The Missouri Senate votes to ban so-called vaccine passports in the Show Me state. The Missouri bill would ban any requirements that travelers show proof of vaccination in order to fly, get a taxi, or use public transportation. The bill now goes to the State House for consideration. The O'Reilly Development Company has partnered with the Economic Security Corporation of Southwest Missouri to bring a new affordable apartment complex to Joplin. It's a 40-unit complex. It's going to focus on helping local veterans with special needs. The Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area, no stranger to providing affordable housing when it comes to four-state veterans. As a matter of fact, it owns the Joplin Bungalows, which has been offering affordable homes to local vets for about a year now. And the organization says the need for such housing is dramatically increasing after the Joplin tornado.
Main Street are a lot of more affordable older homes built in the 1930s and the 40s, so they were very affordable, but they were gone. I mean, literally, you just could see foundations left.
Now, the Economic Security Corporation says the apartments will be ready next January, but they're not quite accepting applications as of yet. It does say people should keep an eye on their Facebook page and website for an upcoming announcement. Watered Gardens invited Joplin city leaders to a forum yesterday to discuss the problem of homelessness and also ways to solve it. It's a problem that Watered Gardens executive director says he does not have a simple solution. And Joplin City Manager says the city plans to take what they learned and bring organizations together to try to help tackle the problem.
Understanding that there's a need for collaboration, especially in the realm of charity, and knowing what charity is needed and when and by whom, and not giving indiscriminately. And so the collaboration is going to make us stronger.
City of Joplin also has a special scheduled meeting for this Monday evening. You're going to kick off the new work week with that. That's when they plan to further discuss homelessness in the area. U.S. Senator Roy Blunt visited Joplin yesterday, meeting with frontline workers at Mercy Hospital. The senator spoke with hospital officials about vaccine efforts and the impact the pandemic has had on mental and behavioral health. He spoke to us about the importance of receiving a vaccine.
Watch those original hundreds of thousands of people in the test for 3 years. We'll be learning those things along the way, but we do know the vaccines are good now. We do know that the 3 approved vaccines, 2 of which take 2 shots and one is a 1-shot vaccine, keep people out of the hospital.
During his trip to Southwest Missouri, Senator Blunt also visited Springfield. Joplin's Children's Center has a new executive director, and he's been around for a while. You probably recognize him. It's former Joplin Police Chief Matt Stewart. Congratulations, Chief. He's going to replace current director Vicki Dudley on May 3rd. Stewart was most recently the victim advocate for the Newton County Prosecutor's Office. A Carl Junction man is $100,000 richer. Joseph Gonzalez matched 4 of 5 numbers, as well as the Powerball from November 2020 drawing. But he just now recently turned it in. Congratulations to Joseph, who bought his winning ticket at the Casey's on Briarbrook in Carl Junction. Win a chicken D heading into that weekend. Speaking of headed into the weekend, let's take a look at our weather trend for today, and then we will get to the impending thunderstorm activity. Great looking Monday or Friday morning. That temperature's already cruising up into the high 50s, so we're going to be well on our way to the 70s right now. More importantly, let's take a look at the afternoon hours, because as it formulates down to our south and our west, whoo, that's a good band right there, carries us all the way into Saturday morning. Now, the thunderstorm activity, biggest threats are going to be high wind and even the possibility of some hail. By the time we get into late Saturday morning, just taper off, just become showers. But we need to keep all eyes on the radar here from Friday night into early Saturday morning. Let's look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOM Morning News, a lawsuit against the CDC.
Florida's governor says the cruise industry has been left out to sea by the federal government, so he's suing. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with more on his push on the CDC to get the cruise liners back sailing.
Webb City at home against Joplin for the COC League opener. We got you highlights. And a new survey shows whether or not Americans are ready to get back in the office full time. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Webb City Cardinals have been one of the best teams in the state so far this season. Webb coming in 10-1 overall, ranked number 3 in the state in the Class 5 poll, and at home yesterday with a big one against Joplin. It's the COC League opener. Now, Eagles have a 1-run lead to start the 5th. Cole Cooper punches one through. Carson Wampler and Fielding Campbell both come in to score, so Joplin is now up 4-1. Let's head into the 6th inning. Bodie Carlson shot to deep center. We got 2 runners on. They're trot right in. Webb in the 7th, can't count him out yet. Cole Gaiman flies out to right. That will play the RBI as Matt Woodmansey scores from 3rd. But the Cards unable to come back. Joplin wins it 8-4. Ethan Guilford goes 6 1/3, allows just 2 runs for the Eagles.
There were some critical parts of the game, and I thought we did a good job of executing in those moments, and just really liked our demeanor in the dugout, and just the way we picked each other up. We can play baseball, and we can play with anybody.
In Pittsburgh, Frontenac Raiders facing Colgan. First CNC contest of the year. Colin McCartney rips one to the gap in left center. That's going to play 2 runs as McCartney safely in with a triple. And Clay Jamison, he goes the other way. Down in the right field corner, Frontenac goes up 6-0. But Colgan gets some back in the bottom half. Janko Kalan goes the other way. Gianni Piccini, he will score. And then after that, Lucas McCain rips one down the third base line. That brings in Kalan to score. One more after that, Cannon Keller in the gap and left as Colgan cuts into the lead for a bit, but Frontenac able to finish it off. High scoring affair. Raiders win it 13-5. Pittsburgh State track and field team continues the outdoor season this weekend, hosting the 13th annual Gorilla Classic. But ahead of that event, a few Gorillas are racking up awards and honors for what they did last weekend in Bolivar.
The awards are flowing in this week for Pitt State track and field.
If I can keep PRing, that'd be great.
Erie High School product Brett Thompson set a PR in the javelin for the third straight meet last weekend. Thompson posted a mark of 242 feet 4 inches, the best in Division II this season and the 7th best all-time mark in Division II. The senior earned MIAA recognition and was the National Men's Track and Field Athlete of the Week.
I got MIAA and I was like, wow, that's awesome. Something I've been wanting for a couple of years now. And then coach sent me that sometime that morning telling me I won the National Athlete of the Week. I was like, that's awesome. So I'm just happy to keep accomplishing things, really.
Trace Mosby is the MIAA Women's Track and Field Athlete of the Week.
It's hard to accept it because there's so many people who put in work every single week.
Mosby won the heptathlon at SBU, posting a career best 5,477 points. It's the top total in the nation this season, in her first outdoor heptathlon in more than a year.
I was really excited to get back and do it. I did not expect it to go so well. It was good to know that the hard work has continued and paid off.
On top of that, Mosby and Lamar product Trey Mooney have been named finalists for the MIAA Women's and Men's Winter Athletes of the Year.
Knowing that I'm chosen to be like top 5 in student athlete, I think means more to me than actually just get an athletic award, just because it's more to me than just athletics.
It does feel good on the inside to know that some people see it and that I'm honored enough to make it to this level. I don't tend to shine a light on myself, so it's cool.
While they're all excited for the individual recognition, the three have their eyes on the team's goal of winning a conference championship next month.
Track is an individual sport. You want to do your best, but we all are a team when it comes to conference.
Not really concerned about awards individually, just want to win as a team, and we got a pretty good team, so just keep getting better each week.
If anyone has ever experienced a conference, it's life-changing. And anyone on this team who's experienced a conference, they can say that was the best memory of my career as a track and field athlete at Pitt State.
Pittsburgh State hosts the 32nd annual Jock Snitch High School Relays today before hosting the Gorilla Classic on Saturday. Pittsburgh State junior guard Kaylee DeMitz announces she's leaving the program. DeMitz is a 3-time All-Conference MIAA selection and also the league's Freshman of the Year in 2019. For more on her decision and what's next for DeMitz, you can check out our full story on the sports page at KOAMNewsNow.com. Still to come on the KOAM Morning News, why scientists say uncharted waters could hold the keys to combating climate change, and a check on our 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. It is 5:18, so just a little past our traditional weather on the 7th. One thing I want to start with on this Friday is how much warmer it is than what we've had past couple of days. I mean, this is a real nice change of pace. Yesterday was just about chilly with everything that we had. And so when we transition to what we're looking at, 57 in Joplin, we got 51 in Independence, and I'm trying to find a low one. Well, see, we still do have Iola at 41, so that's pretty similar to what we had. But when we talk about that 24-hour temperature change right there, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees difference. So, like I said, a whole lot more mild than what we had yesterday. As our average high for this year would be about 68 degrees. Now you see at the bottom, and remember these specific readings are from Joplin Regional Airport. That's why the precipitation at Joplin Regional just came in as trace amounts on Wednesday and Thursday. I know that is not the case if you lived up in the northern portion. Actually, you just get up to Highway 54 and get north above that, and we're talking easily cruising over an inch. But on this Friday, the majority of the day, we are going to stay dry and be able to make it up into the mid-70s. Now, we know we've got the thunderstorm activity that's on its way. So here's future track into motion. Let me back up a little bit. I want to start back here on Friday afternoon. It's going to develop down to our south and our west. The best bet about 3, 4 o'clock right there is when we really see it picking up, and then it begins to turn over on itself and actually carries us all the way in to Saturday morning. Saturday's going to be a chilly one. Let's just keep our eyes on the radar for high winds and even the possibility of hail. Turn our attention now to the KOM News Now Facebook page this morning and our morning Insta poll. People seem to be pretty split when it comes to going back to the office full time. A global staffing firm questioned more than 1,000 workers to gauge their feelings on a post-pandemic return to work. And the results show many workers have gotten comfortable with their new setup and don't want to go back to the office, at least not entirely. 49% of those surveyed prefer a hybrid schedule, allows them to split time between the office and home. Around a quarter of respondents say they're fine with making a full-time return to the office, even though the only remaining quarter says they want to keep working from home. Our question to you, we just kind of threw those different ones out there. Which would you prefer, to stay at home, to go back to work, or the hybrid schedule? You can let us know on the Facebook page or take part in our Insta poll, komnewsnow.com/vote. We'll be back with Health Watch next.
It's not hard.
Topping Health Watch this morning, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis. He wants cruises back up and running from the United States. And to make that happen, he's filing a lawsuit against the CDC, which has restricted the industry for more than a year. Lauren Blanchard, she's got more on the details of the suit from D.C.
Flights are filling up, restaurants are getting their regulars back, even pro sports teams have begun to play ball with fans in the stands. But Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis says his state's cruise line industry has been left out to sea with no clear guidance on when they can resume operations.
Today, Florida's fighting back.
So he and Florida's Attorney General are filing a lawsuit against the federal government and the Centers for Disease Control to allow ships to sail again immediately.
We don't believe the federal government has the right to mothball a major industry for over a year based on very little evidence and very little data.
They argue the cruise industry should be treated like other travel industries.
I don't know of any other industry that has suffered at the hands of any federal agency like we have.
Back in October, the CDC moved from a no-sail order to a conditional sail order, which includes heavy restrictions that prevent cruise lines from carrying on normal operations. It won't be lifted until the pandemic is over or November 1st this year.
We're really at our wits' end at this point. We don't know what else to tell them.
The White House says the decision is up to the CDC.
They have guidelines they've put out on cruise lines. If they decide to update them, that is their prerogative.
DeSantis also argues Americans are still sailing and the U.S. is missing out on the money.
People are going to cruise one way or another.
Norwegian Cruise Line says it will require 100% vaccination for guests and staff. The company also asking the CDC to allow them to start back up by the 4th of July. A large national study finds the in-hospital death rate from COVID-19 dropped from a peak of nearly 20% in April to less than 10% in November. Researchers from Pennsylvania say the decreases were likely because of improvements in treatment, not because a larger proportion of younger patients were hospitalized with the virus as the pandemic continued. Study shows new physical activity during a person's leisure time linked to health benefits, but physical activity during work associated with an increased risk of death. All right. Researchers in Denmark suggest the difference is because work activity often does not sufficiently increase the heart rate to improve fitness. As a look at some of today's top health stories, you're watching the KOM Morning News, and over to Future Track that we go as we take a look at about, say beginning 2 o'clock down to the south. That's when the thunderstorms begin and carry us all the way past midnight into Saturday. High rains, wind, and hail on the front side of it. I'm not going to be surprised if we don't have some watches pop up with this. And the reason I say that is because when we look at the severe thunderstorm risk map, while that high category is way down to the deep south, you'll notice we have portions of the 4 states clipped with that elevated. And then a good amount of counties are in low as well, and kind of proceeds there. It shows you when it starts off to the west is going to increase as it goes through southwest Missouri and then take that counterclockwise motion on it. So remember, you can always find the latest on the Skywatch weather app and take advantage of a great Friday afternoon because we're going to have plenty of sunshine and temperatures all the way up in the 70s. Saturday is not only going to be wet, it's going to be chilly too. We're going to be in the 60s. Sunday's still looking great. Sunday, 70 and 70.
State's most watched news starts now.
Good Friday morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:30. I'm Michael Hayslip. Got a chance of rain that's going to turn into thunderstorm activity for Friday evening all the way into Saturday morning. But before we get there, it is going to be a great looking into the work/school week. That's a current look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Don't worry about the blue and the green out of the sweeping radar. We don't have any clouds. None of that's hitting the old ground. Live look outside of Television City where our temperature is a very pleasant 57 degrees currently. Wind has shifted, no longer that blustery kind that we had out of the west yesterday, now coming in from the south-southwest. And really not too bad. It's only doing so at about 9 to 15 miles per hour. So that's not going to get blown over like we did yesterday. Still waiting on the northwest to warm up a little bit. 41 in Iola, compare that. Just down the road, 52 in Fort Scott, already 54 in Nevada, and Joplin rising up to 57 degrees. About, I don't know, 10, 12 degrees difference than what we had yesterday as all the rain for Friday morning stays in the upper plains. Our weather trend is going to send us into the mid-70s. Now let's talk about the good stuff. You notice those panels. They are filled with thunderstorm activity, say between 3 to 5 is when we see it begin to originate down to the south and out to the west. And once it's on it, that band right there that pushes through late Friday into Saturday morning, that's the one that has popped up on the severe thunderstorm risk map with the low category, the high winds and the hail. If you got Friday night plans, you need to keep your eyes on this radar. And now if you've got Saturday plans that include being outside, while it's not going to be thunderstorm activity, it is going to be some good April showers and chilly. Might just want to try to push everything off till Sunday because it's going to be looking great with highs in the 70s and plenty of sunshine. Starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and above who did not already qualify for the vaccine can get their shot as the state moves into Phase 3. Phase 3 comes just 12 days after the state moved into Phase 2, with Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas expanding eligibility to 16 and up last week. In Joplin, Freeman Health System accepting applications for its first Phase 3 vaccine clinic. In fact, we got one that's going to take place today. It's going to start here in just a little bit. It runs from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. But remember, you need to register by phone or online to set up an appointment. That's how you can get there. Go to freemanhealth.com/service/COVID-19 or give them a call, 417-502-SHOT. An upcoming vaccine clinic will administer the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That's going to be in Pittsburgh. This one next Tuesday, Meadowbrook Mall, 11 a.m. 2 p.m. Johnson vaccine approved for use in people ages 18 and older. Of course, for the latest news and resources related to the COVID-19 vaccine, just go to our website, komnewsnow.com/vaccine, and on that same page, you're going to find a form that you can fill out. Send us your questions about the coronavirus and vaccine distributions. Do our best to get those answered for you. And once again, that's komnewsnow.com/vaccine. The O'Reilly Development Company has partnered with the Economic Security Corporation of Southwest area to bring a new affordable apartment complex to Joplin. 40-unit complex going to focus on helping veterans with special needs. The ESC, no stranger to providing affordable housing to 4 state vets. They own the Joplin Bungalows, which has been offering affordable homes to local veterans for about a year now, and say the need for such housing dramatically increased after the Joplin tornado.
From Main Lane over to Main Street are a lot of more affordable older homes built in the 1930s and the 40s. So they were very affordable, but they were gone. I mean, literally, you just could see foundations left.
Watered Gardens invited Joplin City leaders to a forum yesterday discussing the problem of homelessness and also ways to solve it. It's a problem that Watered Gardens executive director says does not have a simple solution. City manager says Joplin plans to take what it learned and bring organizations together to try to tackle the problem.
Understanding that there's a need for collaboration, especially in the realm of charity, and knowing what charity is needed and when and by whom, and not giving indiscriminately. And so the collaboration is going to make us stronger.
City has a scheduled meeting, a special meeting for Monday evening, and that's when they're planning to further discuss homelessness and possible solutions. Wichita State University no longer enforcing masks, social distancing, or mass gathering limits. School announced those practices are now strongly encouraged, but no longer required. The move is in line with Sedgwick County's decision to end all local health orders. Some students on campus say they're not so happy with this. Ellen Terhune shares their concerns and the actions some of them are taking.
With spring comes change.
I was really surprised, shocked, and honestly a little upset about it.
But at Wichita State, some students say it's not for the better. As the school announced Friday, it rescinded all mandates requiring masks, social distancing, and mass gathering limits on campus. Some students say they feel it's too soon.
We're really at the tail end of the pandemic, not to mention the semester. It really wouldn't be much of an issue to just continue the mandates.
I still think that we should continue social distancing and wearing masks for people who don't have the vaccine yet.
The university still encourages students and staff to wear masks and practice social distancing, but ended its mandates in line with the county voting to end all COVID-19 health orders last week.
I feel like the university kind of jumped the gun, and I know that there's restriction, like there's not much they can do because of the county and the city, but I wish that, there would have been a little more cautious hesitation from the university, from the city, and from the county.
Some students are taking action, creating a petition asking the city of Wichita to pass a citywide mask mandate.
Completely respect the university. It wants to be in line with our local and state health guidelines and what's being said by experts. But that's why I think that the Wichita City Council passing this mandate is so important, because it will allow the university the authority to pass a mask mandate on our own campus and protect our students.
In 48 hours, Ella Perkins' petition has more than 300 signatures.
We have mandatory attendance in-person classes that immunocompromised students are now going to be first to attend, with the knowledge that students are not required to wear masks. And I think that is incredibly concerning.
The students I spoke with on campus Sunday tell me they just hope the university acknowledges their concerns.
I know it's kind of a tough situation to be in, but I hope that they at least try to see what they can do.
Again, Wichita State strongly encourages students and staff to wear masks and practice social distancing whenever possible. It's also offering the vaccine to students and employees. That is a look at this morning's top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, how much would you be willing to pay for a bag? Well, this one's shaped like an airplane with a Louis Vuitton logo. It's going to carry the same stuff as my white backpack does. Scientists discover a mammal in Chile that's believed to have roamed the earth with the dinosaurs. Got that story headed your way, but first, it's 5:37, and we got a good-looking Friday here. As soon as sunrise hits, we're going to warm up all the way into the 70s for the afternoon hours. Not going to be as windy as what it was just coming in from the south. We know we've got thunderstorms on the way, as they'll develop out in the west and south for the late afternoon, carry us through the evening as well, and then turn into April showers on Saturday. Saturday is going to be chilly as well, only in the 60s. Best thing to do if you've got any nighttime plans for Friday or outdoor plans for Saturday, see if you can hold them off till Sunday, because Sunday is going to be gorgeous. We'll be right back with World Watch next. Topping World Watch, it's one of the largest meadows in the entire world, and scientists say it's helping to fight climate change. But the lush space is not where you'd expect to find it. CBS's Ian Lee has the story from London.
This ship is sailing to a place few have been.
It's uncharted waters.
Uncharted waters, scientists say, could hold the keys to combating climate change. A look below the waves in this corner of the Indian Ocean reveals a carpet of green for miles and miles.
It appears that it is the largest contiguous seagrass bed ever, globally.
Scientists say seagrass like this underwater meadow captures more planet-warming carbon dioxide per square mile than a forest. That's a lot, considering the plateau is roughly the size of Switzerland.
It stores carbon, so it's our biggest tool against the climate crisis.
It's also home to a lot of sea life.
It was simply amazing. A lot of seagrass, corals, small schools of fish.
But environmental experts say seagrass is in danger, with the world losing a football field's worth every 30 minutes because of human activity. Activist Shamat Sanduya dove deep to get the message out.
We're demanding climate action, strong climate actions, which includes protecting this huge area.
Scientists say protecting the environment will also preserve our future. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Experts say the tangled roots of seagrasses are estimated to hold more than 10% of the carbon buried in ocean sediment every single year. Researchers in Chile have discovered a mammal that lived during the time the dinosaurs roamed the earth. In fact, they say the animal could have lived 74 million years ago. Scientists say it's a fox-like species that inhabited southern Chile's Magallanes region during the Mesozoic era of the dinosaurs. They say the discovery of the species helps fill in gaps in their knowledge of evolution, as melting ice in the southern portion of the country, as a result of global warming, is giving researchers new insight into that part of the world. That's a look at some of our biggest headlines from around the world. Now, as far as our Something to Talk About this morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page, it's a pretty simple question. What do you prefer now that everybody's getting back to a little semblance of work normal? Do you prefer working at home, a hybrid schedule where you split, or do you want to go back to the office full time? We'll start with Michelle Pacini. Michelle says, good morning, KOM and Mama, and good morning, Michelle. Now, Michelle, this is great. She's got a yard garden office. Becky Mingarelli says, it's impossible to do my job from home, so I prefer to go into work. I would love to work from home, but that would require a change in careers. Roy Mercer, how big are you? And Roy says, it's hard farming from an office or my house. And Roy Brooks says, don't think I can fit my mills in my house, so it's business as usual for me. Unfortunately, bills don't pay themselves. Give you an idea of our morning Insta poll right now. It's 62% of you say, yeah, I want to go back full time to the office. You can make your voice heard by going to komnewsnow.com/vote. We'll be back right after this. Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and over who did not already qualify for the vaccine can now get their shot today as the state moves into what's called Phase 3. Now, Missouri hits Phase 3 just 12 days after the state moved into Phase 2. Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, they expanded eligibility to everyone 16 and older just last week. There are new concerns about Johnson & Johnson's vaccine after 2 vaccination sites, one in North Carolina, one in Colorado, were temporarily shut down due to, quote, adverse reactions, end quote, to the shot. They included dizziness, nausea, and low blood pressure. The O'Reilly Development Company has partnered with the Economic Security Corporation of Southwest Missouri to bring a new affordable apartment complex to Joplin. It's a 40-unit complex that will focus on helping local veterans with special needs. The ESC says it's no stranger to providing affordable housing to 4 state veterans. It owns the Joplin Bungalows and has been offering affordable homes to 4 state veterans for about a year now, and say the need for such housing dramatically increased after the Joplin tornado. Watered Gardens invited Joplin city leaders to a forum yesterday discussing the problem of homelessness and ways to solve it, a problem that Watered Gardens executive director says it does not have a simple solution. Joplin city manager says it plans to take what it learned, bring organizations together to try to tackle the problem, as now the city has scheduled a special meeting for this Monday evening and plan to further discuss homelessness. That is a check on today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. When you do head out the door, know that it is going to be delightful outside as our temperatures all the way up into the 50s, far cry from where we were yesterday, where we were mired in the low 40s for the most part. And when we get into the afternoon hours, we're even going to be talking about temperatures that are up into the 70s. But we've been talking about this impending thunderstorm activity, so let's go ahead and roll through it. So there it is at the noon hour. We're still staying on the clean side. What we'll do is watch down south and out to the west. As this Gulf moisture and instability grows here, You know, leading line. You can back it up. Let's take a better look at it. See that one right there. When that comes through, that's going to be high wind, the possibility of hail to go along with the heavy rain, of course, and it's going to last all the way into early Saturday morning. Saturday morning, it does kind of change over from thunderstorms just to showers, but it's going to be wet and cold on Saturday. So two things have been pointed out. If you're going to be out and about on a Friday night, if you got Friday night plans, you need to keep your eyes on this, especially throughout southwest Missouri. And then if you've got Saturday outdoor plans, it may just be best to hold off until Sunday. Sunday's going to be great, mid-70s, and temperatures up into the back into the 70s with plenty of sunshine. So we really can't beat that. So I just need everybody to be safe for tonight into tomorrow. Thunderstorm activity and colder temps coming pretty much all next week, and you can always find the latest on the Skywatch weather app.
Would you buy a travel bag for $39,000? What if it was shaped like an airplane and had the Louis Vuitton logo all over it? Social media users largely think the new accessory should crash and burn. But Jeannie Moose reports some fashionistas predict sales will take off.
This bag has hit some turbulence.
I think the average consumer is going to go, what?
This Louis Vuitton airplane bag sells for $39,000. You can buy an actual plane for less, noted someone, posting a used Cessna selling for just over $32,000 to prove it. The luxury design house showed a travel-themed collection at its latest men's show, and there it was, more of a collector's item. Or, as celebrity stylist Philip Block put it,
and I think it was the fantasy we all want. We all want to escape our living rooms right now.
Yeah, well, for $39,000, can it fly? Can you even find things you put in there? Where's my chapstick? Have you checked the cockpit? On the bright side, look at all the miles to be earned on purchasing this. Covered with a famous Louis Vuitton logo, it looks like a military transport plane, but who would be transporting it?
But you will definitely see that bag in rappers' videos. It's very Cardi B, maybe. Lady Gaga would live for that bag.
It's the work of Louis Vuitton men's artistic director Virgil Abloh, who once tweeted, then later deleted, "Design is the freshest scam. Quote me on that one." And though non-fashionistas ragged on the bag, someone offered to just glue some handles on this. Some who follow fashion were smitten.
Pretty cool, looks so good.
But that wingspan...
You would have a lot of plane crashes with that bag. You'd be crashing into everything.
This is a bag that practically invites you to pick it up.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Just don't expect it to fit in the overhead luggage bin.
I think that's something that would have to sit on your lap like a service dog.
Goes perfectly with that $1,100 Louis Vuitton mink sleep mask.
Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue.
Well, it's cool looking. Functional? That's a good question. But cool looking. I don't know if it'll fly here in the 4 states, though, that's for sure. Let's toss it over to Michael.
Thank you, Tanya. On the KOM News Now Facebook page in our morning Insta poll, asking about what you prefer when it's back to the office, whether you'd rather be there full-time, whether you enjoy working from home, or whether you would prefer a split hybrid schedule. I'm trying to find out who, a global staffing firm. I want to find out who that was, how many people they surveyed. All right, Rocky Cunningham says, well, you can only dig so many ditches in your own yard. So just saying, love you, Aunt Pat. We do love you, Aunt Pat. And I do like your picture, Rocky, the face you make when you forget to pay your electricity bill. Guy Hansen says, even though there are a good many jobs that can be done from home, I think it's critical to maintain eye-to-eye, in-person contact with human beings that we work for. We need human contact in the workplace for the same reason that our children need it in schools. Children are now suffering from the lack of in-person learning. Guy says human contact is motivating, interesting, social, competitive team spirit, even fun. He says, you know, if you're a number cruncher, coder, data Atlassian, or think tank monkey like himself working from home, no bigs there. But Quoting the guy, he says, everyone needs to get out and get going again. Our morning Insta poll right now, 60% of you prefer to work at the office. You can make your voice heard by going to komnewsnow.com/vote. Our temperature's already up into the 50s. Now we sit back and just wait for sunshine to work us all the way up into the 70s here this afternoon. Tell you what, got anything scheduled for the morning or early afternoon? It's going to be wonderful, but we do need to pay attention to what's going to transpire here for the evening hours and carry us all the way through to Saturday. We'll slow this down here. There's a development of it coming out of the southwest and the west. And then at leading band of not only the heavy rain, but that's got the high winds and possibility of hail on it. And then it pushes through from probably say about 5, 6 o'clock all the way to midnight. And then after that, cold front on the backside of it. It's going to be much cooler on Saturday. All the latest on the Skywatch weather app.
Most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. Chance of rain throughout the day and into the evening. Here's Michael with a quick check on your forecast.
We'll hold it off till later this afternoon. Morning's going to be fine. We haven't seen anything develop out to the west or southwest. That's what we're looking at. And that color contour there of the yellow is beginning to creep its way toward the Oklahoma, Kansas state line and a little bit there in Missouri, Arkansas as well. Going to give us some nicer temperatures than what we had yesterday. That is for sure. Remember yesterday, wind chills as low as the high 30s. So it's a welcome relief to see a whole bunch of mid 50s sitting on there. Not too windy either. Excuse me. So, like I said, morning and early afternoon, just fine. Now, as the Gulf moisture and instability continue to grow out to the west and the south, here we go. If you've got nighttime plans, I want you to be very careful if you got to get in your car, because that band right there, that's not only heavy rain, that's a chance for high wind and also to some hail. And it's going to stick around all the way into Saturday morning. When we throw up the severe thunderstorm risk map, you're going to see that we've got just about all-encompassing for the 4 states here. Not as bad as what we've got down in the deep south. But we do show up. This kind of clips us in the elevated fashion in northeast Oklahoma and then primarily the low and minimal categories. But we also know, too, that's nothing that we fool around with. Saturday is going to be wet and cool. Sunday is going to be great.
Temperature today, though, 79 degrees. Can't complain about that. All right. Thanks, Michael. Well, starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and above who did not already qualify for the vaccine can get their shot today as the state of Missouri moves into phase 3. Phase 3 comes just 12 days after the state moved into phase 2. Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas expanded eligibility to 16 and up last week. In Joplin, Freeman Health System accepts applications for its first phase 3 vaccine clinic. One takes place today from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now you need to pre-register by phone or online to set up an appointment. And an upcoming vaccine clinic will administer the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine in Pittsburgh. It's next Tuesday at the Meadowbrook Mall from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is approved for use for people ages 18 and older. For the latest news and resources related to the COVID-19 vaccine, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. On that same page, you'll find a form that you can fill out to send us your questions about COVID-19 and vaccine distribution. Again, that's at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. The Missouri Senate votes to ban so-called vaccine passports in the state. The Missouri bill would ban any requirements that travelers show proof of vaccination in order to fly, get a taxi, or use public transportation. The bill now goes to the House for consideration. More than $7 million project will provide more affordable housing in Joplin. The O'Reilly Development Company has partnered with the Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area to bring a 40-unit complex to town. It'll focus on helping local veterans with special needs. KOAM's Mike Mahoney has details and reaction from Joplin's veteran community.
Work is underway on the Forest Park North Apartments in Joplin. This $7.3 million 40-unit apartment complex looks to provide affordable housing to both special needs veterans and individuals earning 50% of the median area income or below.
It's a great opportunity to help people
who can actually use some additional help or have actually incomes that just don't quite get it there.
The new complex is being developed by the O'Reilly Development Company in partnership with the Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area, who's no stranger to providing affordable housing to 4 state veterans. They own the Joplin Bungalows, which has been offering affordable homes to local vets for about a year now, and say the need for such housing dramatically increased after the Joplin tornado.
From Main Lane over to Main Street are a lot of more affordable older homes built in the 1930s and the 40s. So they were very affordable, but they were gone. I mean, literally, you just could see foundations left.
ESC CEO John Joint says the Forest Park North apartment should open in early January of next year. And that's music to the ears of Joplin VFW Post 534 Commander Bruce Redden.
We help quite a few veterans throughout the year with that. And sometimes we're strapped about how we can help them. This is going to help us immensely to help them.
In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
The Economic Security Corporation is not yet accepting applications for the Forest Park North apartments, but says people should keep an eye on their Facebook page and website for an upcoming announcement. We've put links to those in this story on KOAMNewsNow.com. Watered Gardens invites Joplin city leaders to a forum discussing the problem of homelessness and ways to solve it. It's a problem that Watered Gardens executive director says does not have a simple solution. City manager yesterday said they had a plan to take what they learned and bring organizations together to try to tackle the problem.
Understanding that there's a need for collaboration, especially in the realm of charity, and knowing what charity is needed and when and by whom, and not giving indiscriminately. And so the collaboration is going to make us stronger.
The city has scheduled a special meeting for Monday evening when they plan to further discuss homelessness. Joplin School District last year bought new Strider bikes for all of the elementary schools. Strider bikes, which do not have pedals, offer an alternative way to learn how to ride a bike. Yesterday, kindergarten students at McKinley Elementary got a lesson on the bikes during PE class.
Essentially, it's an ulterior method to learning how to ride a bike the traditional way. Most people are used to using training wheels, and then you take them off and you let the kids go. With these bikes, you stride, and in theory, once you get used to striding, you can balance, and then we have the actual pedals, and then the kids can take off.
This is the school's first year incorporating the program. Kind of neat. 6:07.
Sunny and 70s early. It's going to be a great early morning Friday, a late morning Friday, and really don't have anything to worry about until we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Thunderstorm activity just in time for the old evening commute. Watch this good line this forms. Pushes off to the east through southwest Missouri and carries us all the way in to Saturday. And it's going to be a little bit of a chilly one and a wet one on Saturday, as our temperatures will only be in the 60s. Tanya?
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we have an inside look at the upcoming annual NEO Craft Fair and the price of renting a car.
As travel returns, rental cars are becoming hard to find. We'll tell you what's driving that demand coming up.
Plus, more Americans are getting vaccinated against COVID-19, but cases continue to rise. Concerns over one strain that's hitting younger people. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. In Money Watch this morning, as the country continues to reopen, more people are beginning to take that long-awaited break away from home. But it appears there is a stumbling block to enjoy a carefree vacation. It's the cost of renting a car. The prices are skyrocketing. Stephanie Stanton has more on what's driving the spike in rates.
With the summer travel season about to take off, airline price deals are abundant, but one portion of your trip might have you hitting the brakes: rental cars. Senior editor Nick Ewan of the travel website The Points Guy tells us why travelers can expect to pay more, a lot more, to rent a car these days.
We're certainly seeing in some cases prices that have gone up by 50%, even 100 or 150%.
So what's driving the increase? Experts say it boils down to several factors, including less international travel and more people getting vaccinated and therefore feeling more comfortable venturing out. Add to that a bankruptcy filing by rental car giant Hertz, and
a lot of rental car companies did get rid of some cars during the pandemic, and they have not had a chance to build those fleets back up.
That kind of sucks.
Mike from Pasadena says he was planning on renting a car in July for a summer road trip.
That's my number one concern, but if it does, then I'm probably gonna have to go a different route or drive my own car, worst case scenario.
Autoslash.com is showing that cars are sold out for the week starting Wednesday in many airports across Florida and other places like Hawaii and Phoenix, Tucson and Savannah, Georgia. And if you were planning a trip to Sin City, well, all bets are off.
Las Vegas is particularly hard hit. We also saw some issues in Denver as well. We think it's going to hit the Northeast within the next couple of months.
At LAX, we talked to a few inbound travelers who told us their rental prices were unaffected. Do you notice prices high at all?
No, we actually got a good deal.
Didn't seem that much. Seemed cheaper than normal.
But despite what appears to be a temporary reprieve for these visitors, experts say the rental car shortage could last until at least this fall.
Even if you're looking at fall trips, check out those rental car prices, try to lock them in now so that you could at least have that reservation before you jump into planning your flight.
Reebok is unleashing its wildest collection yet. Sneakerheads and fans of Jurassic Park can both rejoice over the shoes company's latest collab. The collection features Reebok's Instapump, I love it, Fury, CL Legacy, and Club C designs, all reimagined to represent elements from the iconic movie franchise. The sneaker peak of the shoes shows the Instapump colored bright yellow, green, and red with stripes across the top and the film's dinosaur logo printed on the pump. The full collection will be available May 9th. Those are pretty sweet. Well, you have the chance to bid on some rare James Bond items in an online auction that starts today. The highlight is a rare poster from the 1965 James Bond film Thunderball. The 4-panel poster was designed to be cut up into 4 separate ones, but remained whole. It's expected to go for up to $16,000. Other items going under the hammer include a replica top hat from the 1964 film Goldfinger and a replica of the Golden Gun. That's it for Money Watch. We will be back after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on April the 10th, we have the 8th annual NEO Annual Craft Fair. Now, we're going to tell you about a great cause that this is for, and we're fortunate enough this morning to be joined by Keely Adams. Keely is the Testing and Advising Coordinator and the Director of the Honors Program at NEO. Keely, I want to thank you so much for your time this morning, because it's very interesting the role that you've played in this and the importance that it has, not only for the college, but also the community. First off, the elevator speech, what do you tell people about the craft fair and why it's important?
The main thing that the NEO Craft Fair accomplishes, other than having people from all over the 4 states come in and share all of the things that they've made and created, is that all of the funds from the NEO Craft Fair, everything that we raise, whether that's through our vendor fees or donations on the day of, it all goes to directly support NEO students. It's put on by a group called NEO Women and Friends, which was established about a decade or so ago. And since establishing, they have created scholarships on campus. They put forth funding to build an outdoor classroom, which is beautiful. It's right outside of Shipley Hall here on campus. There's a lot of nice landscaping. It's a nice place to sit and enjoy and spend time with students. And they also now help other student organizations and resources on campus. We have Peggy's Closet, which is a business and professional attire closet. It's a room here we have on campus, and it's full of donated clothes that help students who may need something for an interview if they don't have professional dress, or if they're starting a new job and need to start building their professional wardrobe.
I think it's really interesting that this is the 8th year that this has continued on, and so nice that you're able to bring it back after obviously having to take last year off. What does it say about the sustainability and the importance of this, and the fact that this is almost now a decade old, and the importance to it for the college and the community?
I think it really shows how eager people are to serve our students. They come and they enjoy being here, but the end goal being this is going to go directly back to our students. We did have to cancel last year, unfortunately. We are coming back this year on a slightly smaller scale, but people were very anxious to get back on board and rejoin us. We have very many returning vendors and also new vendors that we're going to be excited to join us on Saturday. So I think it really shows the support that we have from the surrounding community here at NEO.
Keely, you say scaled back. You have 38 vendors coming out. You have 38 vendors. I mean, let's put it this way. If that's your definition of scaled back, this is rather impressive. Keely, I tell you what, before we get out of here, give me the specifics as far as where I can find you, where I can find the craft fair, and our times.
So the easiest way to get in contact with us is actually on our Facebook page. You can find us at NEO Craft Fair. Right now we are highlighting all of our vendors. So each day we are posting different vendors and what they are selling, what they've created. So that has our contact information on it as well. Again, the event is this Saturday, April 10th. It's from 10 to 3, and most importantly, admission is free. So we invite everyone to come in, take your time shopping. I do want to note that it is on NEO's campus. It's in our Student Activity Center. So we are following their COVID safe protocol, and we are requiring masks, and we've made sure to take measures to accommodate for social distancing.
Keely, you beat me to the punch on all those details. You are absolutely phenomenal for joining us. I want to thank you for your time. Keely Adams, she is the director of the honors program at NEO A&M and now in charge of speaking for the NEO Craft Fair, which once again I want to reiterate goes to scholarships and resources at the college. Keely, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for all you do for the 4 states.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News right after this.
Breaking news out of the UK this morning. Buckingham Palace announced that Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, has died at the age of 99. A cause of death has not been released yet. Last month, Prince Philip was hospitalized with an infection. We'll have the latest on his death in the story as it becomes available. Topping Health Watch this morning, public health experts say another COVID-19 surge may already be underway in the U.S., powered by more contagious coronavirus variants that appear to target the young and old alike. Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
About 3 million vaccines are now being administered in the U.S. every day. More than a third of the population has received at least one dose, and nearly 20% are considered fully vaccinated. Yet the number of infections has been rising, with more than 64,000 new cases reported daily. In the upper Midwest, hospitalizations are up 42% in the past week.
The last time we have seen numbers like that was 12 months ago in April of 2020.
According to the CDC, the most common source of new infections is the B117 strain that was first identified in the UK in December. Experts say children may be more susceptible to the variant.
Prior to this time, young kids, particularly those in 8th grade or younger, rarely got infected or seriously ill with the virus, and importantly, did not transmit the virus in the community. Today, that has been turned on its head.
Mass vaccination sites in North Carolina and Colorado were closed this week after some recipients experienced adverse reactions to the shot. All were administering the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
At this point, we have no reason to believe there's anything wrong with the vaccine itself.
The reactions ranged from dizziness to nausea, and at least 2 people were hospitalized. The CDC is investigating, but says COVID-19 vaccines are both safe and effective. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
U.S. has recorded more than 31 million confirmed COVID-19 cases to date and over 560,000 deaths. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Beautiful look outside of Television City, where sunrise will be here at 6:52. It's going to be a nice and warm start. Choked up about Philip. 56 degrees right now outside the mothership. The great thing about today is we will not have to fight the wind like we did yesterday. Now it has shifted and moving in from the south at 10 miles per hour, but the barometer remains steady. That's a key factor for a beautiful, beautiful start to what will wrap up our work week and head us in to the weekend. All the cloud cover stays down to our southwest. Haven't picked up any storm reports throughout the entire Midwest. All good thunderstorm activity. We staying up in the way upper plains where they're fighting the wind now. For us, it's just a matter of enjoying a great beginning to Friday, because we've got big changes coming for the afternoon and nighttime hours. Finally, we find our Monday or our Friday morning temperatures above that of Chicago, Minnesota, and North Dakota, as they were above us for the past couple of days. Now we finally get a chance to look and say, all right, that's about how April should be. It's still a little cool up to the north. Iola only sits at 41 degrees. We're throwing up 56 in Joplin right now, 54 in Parsons, 54 in Monette. And we were talking about, comparatively speaking, to where we were at this point in time yesterday. We're pushing up about a double-digit increase, so that's very nice to see. And tell you what, if you were outside yesterday evening, you know how vicious that wind was coming in from the west. Overnight shift, and now we're just sitting at anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that's real good news. No watches, warnings, or advisories that we need to worry about. But of course, that's going to be a subject to change here by the time we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Thunderstorm activity develops out to the west and the south, right along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. And say about 2, 3 o'clock is when we need to get radar wary. And there it is. Now it's this leading band, right along I-44 up to the north, but then it almost kind of stands up on its side. And so coming through there, that's going to be the heavy rain, the high wind, and even the possibility of some hail. Takes us all the way through the nighttime hours into Saturday. Saturday it does come back and just act as rain showers. No thunderstorm activity, but temperatures down in what's going to be a chilly, chilly Saturday. If you've got outdoor plans, best thing to do is try to hold off till Sunday.
The state of Missouri moves to phase 3 today. We'll tell you about some local vaccine clinics. Plus, a new low-income apartment complex is coming to Joplin, how it's focused on helping local veterans with special needs. And city leaders in Joplin team up with Watered Gardens to combat homelessness and poverty.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Tanya Bach. We've got a chance of rain this afternoon. Here's Michael with a look at your forecast.
We do, Tanya. Thunderstorms are going to roll in, but before we get there, it's gorgeous looking start with all that blue sky. Sunrise will be officially here at 6:52, sitting at 56 degrees, considerably warmer than what we had Thursday, minus up to the north right there. Iowa is still sitting at 41, but everybody else cruising from mid-40s in the lower 50s, and not a whole lot of action for the contiguous 48. What we will do as we progress through the afternoon hours, if you're a radar watcher, right in here, Gulf moisture is going to begin to work its way up. And once it gets about to the state lines, that's when things begin to change for us. Not really going to pose any threats till about 2, 3 o'clock. So take advantage of the, I won't say limited time, but just the time that we do have. And then once it does begin to formulate, look at this leading edge, develops a long 44, then it stands up vertically in a north-south fashion. It brings us heavy rain, especially through southwest Missouri, high winds, possibility of hail, and then turns into Saturday showers, and Saturday is going to be much, much cooler. On the severe thunderstorm risk map, we do see the elevated area clip northeast Oklahoma, and then we've got the low category running through southeast Kansas in to southwest Missouri. If you have outdoor plans for Saturday, best thing to do would almost be to delay them a day, because Sunday is looking wonderful. Whole lot of sunshine and up into the 70s.
All right, enjoy the warm weather. Sounds good. Well, starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and above who did not already qualify for the vaccine can get their shot today as the state of Missouri moves into phase 3. Phase 3 comes just 12 days after the state moved into phase 2. Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas expanded eligibility to 16 and up last week. And Joplin Freeman Health System accepts applications for its first Phase 3 clinic. One takes place today from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You need to pre-register by phone or online to set up an appointment. And an upcoming vaccine clinic will administer the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine in Pittsburgh. It's set for next Tuesday at the Meadowbrook Mall from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is approved for use in people ages 18 and older. For the latest news and resources related to the COVID-19 vaccine, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. On that same page, you'll find a form that you can fill out to send us your questions about COVID-19 and vaccine distribution. Again, that's at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. The O'Reilly Development Company partners with the Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area to bring a new affordable apartment complex to Joplin. The 40-unit complex will focus on helping local veterans with special needs. Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area is no stranger to providing affordable housing to four-state veterans. They own the Joplin Bungalows, which has been offering affordable homes to local vets for about a year now, and say the need for such housing dramatically increased after the Joplin tornado.
From Main Lane over to Main Street are a lot of more affordable older homes built in the 1930s and the 40s. So they were very affordable, but they were gone. I mean, literally, you just could see foundations left.
Economic Security Corporation says the apartments will be ready next January, but they're not accepting applications yet. They do say people should keep an eye on their Facebook page and website for an upcoming announcement. Joplin city leaders were invited to Water Gardens yesterday to discuss homelessness in the city and what can be done about it. KOAM's Zach Dodge was there and has how it's an issue that does not have a simple solution.
There's not any sort of a social engineered plan that can be a blueprint to solve the problem.
That's one of the biggest takeaways James Whitford hopes Joplin city leaders will take away from a Thursday afternoon forum.
This is something that a person has to do on their own, and they need the right kind of compassionate support to be at their side as they journey out of poverty.
Homelessness has been an issue in Joplin for years, and right now, the city is taking a specific interest in finding a way to solve it.
There's a desire from the community to address homelessness.
City Manager Nick Edwards explains they wanted to know if there are any policies the city could pursue that might be helpful.
It might be better to be asking, what should we get out of to let the private sector jump in and do a very good job with? Now, there are some things that they can be helpful with. For example, we have a public transportation in our city, right? But the public transportation does not go out onto East 32nd Street where the industrial section is, where there's a lot of employment.
Whitford thinks the city can be more helpful by being more selective with who gets funding.
At least what they could do is make sure that those organizations are measuring outcomes.
Edwards says the city plans to take what they learned and bring Water Gardens and other groups together so everyone can work together to help people in poverty.
Understanding that there's a need for collaboration, especially in the realm of charity, and knowing what charity is needed and when and by whom, and not giving indiscriminately. And so the collaboration is going to make us stronger.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
The city has a work session on Monday evening where they plan to discuss homelessness more. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Curbing gun violence.
Details on 2 more violent shootings on the very day the president announces his plans to tackle gun control. I'm Naomi Ruckham with the administration's proposals.
Plus, for our Something to Talk About, we're asking, where do you prefer to work? We let you weigh in, but first, it's 6:37.
Right, on the duration of our Friday, don't have to worry about anything until the afternoon. Once we get to, say, 2, 3 o'clock, then it develops, and by 5, 6 o'clock, it's on us now. We're talking about lightning, heavy rain, high winds, even some hail, before it turns back over to showers on Saturday morning. Saturday is going to be cool, too, only in the 60s. We'll be back with Nation Watch next.
Topping Nation Watch this morning. Yesterday, President Biden announced his plan for curbing gun violence in America, but it was sandwiched between news of 2 more deadly mass shootings. Naomi Ruckham explains what the administration is proposing and the challenges that lie ahead.
In his first major proposal on gun control, President Biden announced half a dozen executive actions.
Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
The plan cracks down on ghost guns, homemade firearms which don't have serial numbers and are often purchased without background checks. The Justice Department will also draft red flag legislation so states can keep guns out of the hands of people struggling with mental illness. Facing opposition from some conservatives, President Biden urged Congress to act.
They've offered plenty of thoughts and prayers, members of Congress, but they passed not a single new federal law to reduce gun violence. Enough prayers. Time for some action.
In the very hours before and after the announcement, there were 2 more violent shootings. In South Carolina, former NFL player Philip Adams killed a prominent doctor, his wife, 2 grandchildren, and another man before turning the gun on himself. The motive is still unclear.
How many shots did you hear?
About 20.
And in Bryan, Texas, 1 person was killed and 5 others were wounded, including a state trooper, after a gunman opened fire at a cabinet manufacturing company.
We know that he was an employee of the cabinet shop, and I don't know a motive right now.
After a frantic manhunt, authorities arrested a suspect, 27-year-old Larry Bolin. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
While gun control advocates are applauding the president's gun control plan as a good first step, many of the larger initiatives must be passed by Congress. The Senate is split down the middle, and any gun control legislation would need 60 votes to pass. A key witness at Derek Chauvin's murder trial said what was done to George Floyd would have killed a healthy person. The witness, a pulmonology expert, compared Floyd's struggle during his arrest to having a lung removed, saying he died from a low level of oxygen. The medical examiner is set to take the stand today. There are new concerns about Johnson & Johnson's vaccine after 2 vaccination sites, one in North Carolina, the other in Colorado, were temporarily shut down due to adverse reactions to the shot. They included dizziness, nausea, and low blood pressure. That's a look at today's top national stories. Let's check back in with Michael for our Something to Talk About.
Thank you, Tanya. On the KOM News Now Facebook page in our morning Insta poll, asking where do you prefer to work now that some offices are starting back open, whether it be at the house full-time, the office full-time, or maybe a split schedule. Glenn Ritchie says, I agree with Guy Hansen. Human contact's very important to do so many jobs as well as just in general. Good morning, KOM News Team. Good morning, KOM Country. Good morning to you, Glenn. Excuse me. John Tribune says, worked at home to get a tan. I'm retired. Good morning, KOM in America. Good morning, John. I hope that's working out as well, John. Tony Hodge Sr. says people need to get back into their workplace and get back to normal. Rep Berry says he agrees with Roy. It's kind of hard to take care of pigs, chickens, and grow produce from a laptop, unless, of course, you're working for Farmville. And good morning to you as well, Rhett. On our morning Insta poll, right now it's kind of been, it's been pretty consistent. Where you sit at 46% of you would prefer full-time at the office. You can make your voice heard by going to komnewsnow.com/vote. Be back with birthdays and anniversaries next.
Brought to you.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Brandon Cox, who served the United States Marines. He served in Afghanistan and Iraq. His hometown, Webb City, Missouri. We are proud to salute Brandon Cox, our four-state hero.
Big number 1, and it's a smiling Everly Faye Guffey with a beautiful, beautiful bow. Happy birthday, Miss Everly Faye.
What a sweetie. Camden Berger turning 11 years old this year. Happy birthday, Camden, in Pittsburgh.
We've got an 11-year-old in Chanute as well. It is Braxton Whitley. Braxton, special birthday wishes coming from Love Mom.
All right, I always love it when his name pops up here. Ellsmore, Kansas native Dirks Kiegler turning 13 years old. Welcome to the teenage years.
Coming up this weekend, Mackenzie Robertson is celebrating her 15th birthday in Fort Scott. Mackenzie, a very happy birthday weekend to you.
Jessica Humboldt turning 20 years old this year. Happy birthday to Jessica in Scammon.
One of our former own Miss Kelly Payne celebrating number 37. Kelly, a happy birthday from Mom, Dad, Elena, and Camden. Hope you're doing extremely well, ma'am.
Yeah, and happy birthday from your former crew here at KOAM. Miss that girl. Let's see, Vernon Ross III is celebrating the big 4-0 in Riverton. Happy birthday, Vernon.
And Christy Manier, she celebrates her 41st birthday. I don't know if maybe that's a picture that her sister had. I don't know, that's a good one though. Christy, a happy 41st in Nevada. This comes with love from the family.
All right, and we've got Kelly High School turning 42 years old this year. Little throwback pic there. She looks like she's planning something in that pic. Let's see, Kelly is in Pittsburgh.
Look who's got a birthday in Farlington. Kevin Schubach. Kevin, a happy birthday to you as he celebrates number 61.
Aw, always remember when he sold me my first car. Well, not my first car, the first car I purchased here in the 4 states. That was pretty cool. Thank you, Kevin. Mike Johnson is 75 years old in Girard. Happy birthday, Mike.
Run out to Oswego, and a happy birthday to Shirley Casey. Great picture there. Looks like we're hanging out on the front porch, and Shirley, I hope you get the opportunity to enjoy a wonderful birthday weekend, and happy 86th.
All right, a lifelong resident of Columbus.
Hey, Miss Bass.
Yeah, Miss Lottie Bass.
Yeah.
Great picture there of Lottie in Columbus, who's 88 years old now.
Happy birthday, Miss Bass. Mary Jones celebrating in Crestline. Mary, a happy birthday to you.
All right, Wallace and Peggy Ball are celebrating their 51st anniversary. Love that throwback wedding pic there in Carterville.
Good picture. Bill Taylor, happy 37. Mr. Taylor is in Miami. Jimmy Blau, now 48 years old. Jimmy celebrating in Miami as well, and a happy birthday to Shaylee Thomas. Got all choked up there over Shaylee's birthday. I got too excited. Shaylee, a happy birthday to you in Columbus.
And Mason Best in Columbus is celebrating a birthday as well. So is Marcia Beggs in Columbus. That's where the party is, in the bus. Can't forget that. Let's see, Jody and Susan Buckle are celebrating 28 years. Congratulations to the Buckles.
Back to the bus.
Yeah.
Gage Harmon. That's where he's celebrating Columbus. Gage, a happy birthday. And Doug Saporito. Happy birthday, Mr. Doug. He, of course, is in Columbus. And in Afton, Pamela Goodian. Miss Goodian, a happy 78th birthday to you.
We're going to round out our birthday list up in Fort Scott, Kansas, with some impressive numbers coming from Jerry Shelton, turning 93 years old, and Martha Callow, who's 95 this weekend. Happy birthday to both of you.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary to all. That's where you can send them into komnewsnow.com/birthdays if you choose to go to our website, or if you'd like to go the email route, you can go to birthdays@komtv.com. Now here's Tanya Bach with a very important birthday announcement.
That's right. You can be a part of the KOAM Birthday Club. All you have to do is go to our website and sign up. And once you do, you'll get special deals from local businesses. Go to komnewsnow.com. Sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club today.
Well, Friday morning with temperatures ranging from the mid-40s all the way to the mid-50s. So no complaints about starting off despite that chill in there we had yesterday. That's a thing of the past. And tell you what, now that the wind is a thing of the past, we can enjoy a delightful morning as we're going to make it all the way up into the 70s there by the noon hour. But as you look to the right, all those panels that take us from Friday night into Saturday morning, we've got thunderstorm activity headed our way. Going to be here late afternoon hours. It's going to take us all the way through the nighttime. Right on the front band is where we see not only the heavy rain, but also high winds and the threat of hail. Now, after midnight, it begins to taper off a little bit, and it turns into just April showers, but it's still going to be a wet one on Saturday and much, much cooler. Temperatures only in the 60s. Sunday is going to be the day to get out and take advantage of outdoor activities because we've got sunny skies and back into the 70s. We'll be back and wrap up this edition of the KOAM Morning News right after this. A couple more comments to pass along about your preferred work environment as more and more offices begin to open back up. Colleen McGuire says, my job requires my presence at work. but I know several people who have worked from home for a little over a year now, and they enjoy it. A few do miss the human face-to-face interaction, though. That's completely understandable. Lisa Franklin says, actually, I wouldn't mind a hybrid. Keep the person contact, but sometimes working from home, it's nice to finish working, walk into the kitchen, and immediately start dinner instead of dealing with traffic for an hour and then having time and energy to make a good meal. Good point there, Lisa. I want to thank everybody for their engagement this morning, and we'll continue to roll your comments and update the Insta poll as we transition over to Fox 14.
Of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Starting today, all adults in Missouri are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Anyone 16 and above who did not already qualify for the vaccine can get their shot today as the state of Missouri moves into phase 3. Phase 3 came just 12 days after the state moved into phase 2. Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas expanded eligibility to 16 and up last week. There are new concerns about Johnson & Johnson's vaccine after 2 vaccination sites, one in North Carolina and the other in Colorado, were temporarily shut down due to adverse reactions to the shot. They included dizziness, nausea, and low blood pressure. The O'Reilly Development Company partners with the Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area to bring a new affordable apartment complex to Joplin. The 40-unit complex will focus on helping local veterans with special needs. Economic Security Corporation of the Southwest area is no stranger to providing affordable housing to 4 state veterans. They own the Joplin Bungalows, which has been offering affordable homes to local vets for about a year now, and say the need for such housing dramatically increased after the Joplin tornado. Watered Gardens invited Joplin city leaders to a forum yesterday discussing the problem of homelessness and ways to solve it. It's a problem that Watered Gardens executive director says does not have a simple solution. City manager says they plan to take what they've learned and bring organizations together to try to tackle the problem. The city has scheduled a special meeting for this Monday evening when they plan to further discuss homelessness. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Great looking Friday morning and early afternoon with plenty of sunshine and temperatures all the way up into the mid to high 70s. We may even throw up an 80 down to the south. But now speaking of the south, that's where the later afternoon and early evening thunderstorm activity arrives. Going to be a wet end of Friday night and even Saturday morning. Remember, Saturday is going to be chilly as well. Biggest threats are going to be the heavy rain, high wind, and even some hail there as we see it may remain pretty consistent into the eastern portion of southwest Missouri. Sunday is going to be the best day to do anything outside because we're going to have sunshine and be back into the 70s.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making Save the Day black bean salsa in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We'll continue to update the severe thunderstorm risk map as we transition over to Fox 14. I want everybody to have a great, safe Friday, a marvelous 4-state weekend. We'll do this all again on Monday.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.